Okay, we have a Silverado Chevrolet 2500 HD 4x4 V8 6.0 liter. Okay, first thing I did was move the skid plate that was right here, so it allows me access to the transmission oil cooler lines, and here's where we have the leak. Okay, this is the transmission oil cooler line that's currently leaking, and you could see it leaking from the hole. There's a hole on the side when they crimp the fitting. And it's leaking out of that hole. Okay, the first thing I want to do is cut this line right here. And I'm going to drain all the transmission fluid out into this pan. So I've got these cutters. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the pipe and drain all the transmission fluid into this pan. Okay, so I cut the pipe in half, and right now we're draining out the transmission fluid into this pan. Actually didn't come out as much as I thought it was going to. Okay, I'm going to do this clip right here that's holding the two lines together. I'm going to undo this clip so that I can separate this down. Next thing I want to do is remove this pipe from the radiator, which is that lower pipe down there. I'm going to go ahead and use this tool and pull the pin right here. Give me a pin in there. I'm going to pull that pin out. It's a retaining pin that retains this, and so I can pull this out. Okay, so this tool was actually too big. The end of it was too big. So I ended up using this tool, much smaller, and I was able to pop this clip right off. So when I grabbed it, I kind of just grabbed one of these ends right here, pulled open one end, and then it came out and I was able to slide it out. So I popped the clip off of here. And I used the tool and popped the clip off. So now, this pipe's going to want to come out. So now that's free. There's another clip down here, holding it to the other pipe, and usually you can do these by hand. Okay, this one was a little tougher. I had to unpry this one with a screwdriver. So I pried the screwdriver in here and popped this free. And that's the clip that's holding the two pipes together in an assembly. So now this pipe can pop free out of here. So this is the portion I cut underside of the car, and this is where I removed the retaining clip and pulled it from the radiator. So now I freed this piece out. Okay, so you can see where the pipe was leaking. This is the crimp fitting from the manufacturer, and a lot of times they leak right from the hole there. And you get transmission fluid coming out of this hole and working its way down. And you can see where it ran down the pipe and was dripping on the ground. So that's the culprit right there. So I'm going to go ahead and use this pipe cutter, and I'm going to go ahead and make a cut right here so I can flare this in and get it ready for 2 pipe clamps. So I just use this cutter and just go ahead and spin around here. I like to spin it so the wheel follows, so you're spinning it this way. So the cutting wheel is always following, not leading. Okay, so now that I use this tool and I was able to cut a clean edge off the piece of pipe, what you want to use is a deburring tool. And you want to make sure you deburr the inside of the pipe. So just kind of pushing it like this. And then you want to make sure you get all the metal shavings. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to flare this in. And we have a pipe flare here. We're going to use 3/8. And so we're going to put this on, and we're going to use this fitting here. So when you come out of here, you want to make sure that this stands proud of the base, the thickness of the flange right there, of the adapter. the first shoulder on the adapter. Right about there. Okay, once you have the pipe tightened into the fitting here, take the adapter and you drop it in this way. Okay, now we're ready to bring it down. So line this up. And we're going to go ahead and flare the end so that it'll hold pipe with pipe clamps. Okay, so I push the adapter down onto the pipe and I loosen this off. I remove that, and then I loosen these nuts and was able to pull the pipe free up here. And then here's the adapter. You can go ahead and pull the adapter out, and now you can see the flange that was created on the end. So I created that flange there. So now when the pipe clamp holds here and this thing wants to slide out, this will prevent this pipe sliding off with the pipe clamp. Alright? Okay, that was the easy one. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut this pipe here, and then we're gonna flare the end of it in place. So I can't take this one off, it runs to the tranny, but we're gonna go ahead and flare this one in place. Okay, so I got my pipe cutter on here. I'll go ahead and cut it again as close as I can to the edge, leave as much existing pipe as possible. I'll go ahead and cut this off. Okay, so this came off. So use a pipe cutter and remove the compression fitting. So that's off. And then we'll go ahead and let's deburr this end like we did on the last pipe. Okay, so I put the bracket, the flaring bracket, on the pipe, and again it's standing proud, and we'll insert the adapter and tighten it down and flare it in spot, in place. Okay, so we tighten the clamp down, and we push the flare fitting all the way flush to the bracket. So now we're ready to remove this, and we should have a nice flared end to hold the hose clamp. Okay, so I pulled the bracket off, and we flared this end here, and I used a little abrasion pad and cleaned up this pipe just in case there's any scratches or divots, so smoothing it out. So we created a new flange on the end of here. I'm going to put one pipe clamp here. I wanted to use two pipe clamps, but I would have had to go to this end, but it would have gotten in the way of these brackets. So I'm going to try one pipe clamp here and maybe another one here, and see if this one pipe clamp is enough to hold and prevent this from leaking. Okay, so we went ahead and purchased 5 feet of transmission oil cooler. So you can see the TOC here, transmission oil cooler line hose. So we're gonna use this. We're gonna lube up the end of this so we can slip it over the fitting. So we'll go ahead and lube it up with some transmission fluid. Go ahead and slide your new pipe clamps. So we're using this type of pipe clamp. Facing the same direction. Go ahead and slide these over the pipe first. We'll use 2 of them. Okay, so I got the 2 pipe clamps on here, and you can feel where the flare is. It's right here. So you want to put the pipe clamp just on the other side of that, and then put this one here for good measure. Okay, so this is the finished product on this end. Okay, we have both sides done now. We got the 2 pipe clamps on the transmission side, and then we went ahead and put 2 pipe clamps on the radiator side. So this is the side that I removed the clip from earlier. So you connect it under here, And then we tighten these down, and we'll just go ahead and feed this up. So we feed that up, and we'll go connect it to the radiator on top. Okay, so I fed the pipe up from the bottom. So here it is here. And we're going to put it back into the radiator. And we'll put the clip back in as well. Okay, so we hooked the pipes back up to the bracket that's on the car. And we put the clip back in. Clip the aluminum tube to the radiator. So that clip that we took out earlier is back in. So this is the finished product from the top side. We'll go look at it from underneath. Okay, so there's the fitting to the tranny side we looked at earlier. Got double clamp. You can see where the end of the pipe is flared out, bulging in the tube. Okay, so I'm got the engine running on idle. You need to check the transmission fluid when the car's running on idle. That's the dipstick there. We're using the for the Chevy Silverado. We're using dextran 5. Transmission fluid, it lost about a quart of oil from all the dripping that it was doing over the course of the last month. So we'll go under here and check the leaks. Okay, so engine's running on idle, and everything looks good, looks clean. Okay, so we took the car for a test spin, and there's no leaks here. And we checked at the top, and there's no leaks at the top either. So now that we've verified there's no leaks, one last look at the final product. Okay, now we're ready to put the cover back on.